Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Tia back again with another episode of Unfinished Business. Tia's Talking. Today we got some good topics, but I also got a special guest with me. I don't need an introduction, but the guy right next to me does. This is my husband, Marlon McCoy, and then I'll let you kind of tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I am, as you know, Marlon, her husband. I,
Got you nervous.
I don't know. I don't know what they want to know about me.
You play, you hoop, right? You know, do you know about, first of all, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know sports?
Yes, I know sports. I feel like I know sports. I watch all type of sports. I played football, basketball, baseball, soccer, whatever my dad could sign me up for. I played. But that was when I was younger. When I got to high school, I played football and basketball, and then I went to college and played basketball.
Okay. Okay, so if you made it this far, Marlon is a little nervous. We're going to excuse him a little bit, but that's okay. It'd be like that sometimes when you're new to this. But if you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, and then we're going to get right into it. First up, we got WNBA. So we both got a chance to sit down and watch the Las Vegas Aces versus the New York Liberty play in Game 1 of the finals. And so I'll let you go first since you're the guest. What were some of your, I guess, like key points or things that you took away from the game today?
I thought that. Well, I thought going into it, the matchup, I thought the Aces were very. I thought they were gonna come in and blow them out, but going back and looking at the game, it looks like it's gonna be a good matchup as far as players. I didn't know that New York was bigger than Las Vegas, so I think they'll use that to their advantage in the series. But I think it's gonna be a good matchup just because, I think the Aces guard wise are better than them, but just the length that New York's got, and New York's guards aren't bad either. But I just think that the Aces guards got a little bit more skill to them, a little more oomph to them. But I think it's gonna be interesting. So I was glad to see that that the game one was going in the right direction as far as them. It's gonna be competitive. It ain't gonna be like a sweep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I agree. I think straight out the gate, the game started off, I think Asia Wilson scored the first 2 points on the Aces side, and Breanna Stewart scored the first 2 points on the Liberty side. So right away I thought like, oh, they're going to go head-to-head all game. And so they did start off guarding each other, something that I thought that was the key matchup, right? I will say, though, for the most part of the game, we didn't really see as much Breanna Stewart versus Asia Wilson, like, straight, like, head-on. Because the Liberty, they were throwing a few different things at the Aces, right? But I think that the key player for me, Vegas, they won the game, right? They ended up winning by 17 points. And so it was a lot of back and forth pretty much through the first 3 quarters. And then the Aces pulled away in the fourth quarter. But the key matchup, if the Liberty want to win game 2, I think they have to go to Jonquel Jones a little bit more. I think Kia Stokes is guarding Jonquel, and although she's a great defensive player, I do think that that's a weak spot for the Aces, just because although she's a great defensive player, Jonquel Jones is probably a better offensive player. She's strong, she's gritty, and things like that. So I would look for them to kind of go to Jonquel Jones a little bit more in the post and let her work on Kia Stokes a little bit until the Aces decide to kind of make a switch. So that's definitely going to be a key matchup. I talked a little bit about the guards last episode as well, and something that surprised me, I knew that Chelsea Gray and I knew that Asia Wilson were going to do their thing, but I also knew that the Liberty would be focused on them. And something that became very important to me as I was kind of watching the game is the play of Jackie Young and the play of Kelsey Plum. So both of those players, they ended up with 26 points apiece. And I really think that was the determining factor against the Liberty. I don't think that the Liberty kind of had anything for either of them today.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be able to keep that up because I know Jackie Young was at when I looked on ESPN, she was at like 17.6 points per game, and Kelsey Plum was at 18. But like over the last series, like Young was in and out as far as like she had hit like 10, 11. She had one big game for it was like in the 20 plus. So I don't that tandem that they had tonight with Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray. Not saying that they are gonna just be terrible, but I don't think them three are gonna be able to sustain to keep them numbers of 26 or 20 plus throughout the whole series.
So are you saying though that like it was just a hot night for them and the ball
was
for them?
Yeah, it was a hot night for them. Biggest thing is though is like okay, Asia didn't go off for I think she had 19. I think was that right?
Yeah.
So I mean, Asia. Everybody knows Asia is the star or the go-to on that team. So if they let Asia get her numbers, then it's like okay, she was supposed to get that, but Jackie Young going for 20 plus, even Chelsea Gray, like when the game gets tight, she usually goes off, but I don't think that Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray will be able to sustain those.
Kelsey Plum.
Yeah. No.
Chelsea Gray.
Yeah, Chelsea Gray and Jackie Young will be able to sustain.
I think you're talking about Kelsey Plum.
No, I think Kelsey Plum will be able to sustain her numbers.
You don't think Chelsea Gray is going to be able to sustain that? That's the big shot maker.
Nah, because I mean she'll make big shots, but I like, the reason why like I'm going back to she had 16, but like I've been looking at the ESPN like the game logs of like the series that have been going on, and she only looks to score when like, and you told me this like when the game is close. Mm-hmm. But like I feel like she's like really looking to facilitate.
Yeah, I agree.
So like, and then like if you look at how many shots she's taken, like she'll take from 10 to 12. The higher games were like when she goes for 20 plus, she goes in like 15 to 18. Mm-hmm. But like she ain't looking to like really get up a whole bunch of shots.
Like 30 points or more.
Yeah, like she's looking to facilitate. So that's why I think it's like her and Young are going to kind of like drop. I mean, I don't know. They might prove me wrong because Young is actually like she's good. She is surprising me each game and throughout the series because I didn't know who she was until you had told me that she went to Notre Dame and she was under Enrique and like that was her Robin at Notre Dame.
Batman.
Yeah, Batman and Robin. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, Batman and Robin. But I just don't think that her Chelsea Gray and Jackie Young will be able to sustain those numbers.
So key highlights, right? Like, what are your predictions for Game 2? And then like, why would that be your prediction?
To be honest, I think it could go either way. I don't have.
You gotta make a choice though, because
this is
doing a podcast if you scared to make a decision. Like,
I'm not scared to make a decision. I'm just the thought process I have of it is this Game 2. I mean, Liberty lost, so they're gonna come out hard just so they don't go down 2-0. But what it is that okay, Asia. I thought she had a good game, but I think she's gonna go be more aggressive. So with her being more aggressive to get more points, I think that's going to kind of affect the Liberty in a sense of okay, like this game she was just doing whatever it was that she needed to win, which she always does. I mean, the object of the game is to win, but I just think her mindset going into Game 2 is going to be more to score, and Jackie and Chelsea, or even Kelsey Plum won't get as many shot attempts as they did this Game 1. So like, but me saying that Asia going off is not an issue. Like if she goes off, they can win Game 2.
Liberty can.
Liberty can. But if she's hitting, then it's like easily can be the Aces, taking Game 2 as well. Just because, I mean, you've seen the series before. Asia was having like 30 plus games and 30-10 games, and was leading her team to those victories last.
So who you taking though?
That's why I said I don't. I can go. It's a toss up.
You have to make a decision. Because if you're wrong, we gonna come back to it, and we're gonna like shit all over you.
I'll go with. Wait, is game two's in Las Vegas again?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the Vegas. They'll take game two.
All right, that's good. I think it's gonna be the Aces. We go back to last episode. I said I could very easily see this series going to 5. Although I do think Las Vegas Aces takes a 2-0 lead, and the reason why I say that is I think they were kind of going back and forth first 3 quarters, but the fourth quarter they kind of found something right that was working for them, and it really helps when your, I don't want to say non-star players, but if Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young are having games like that, it really just makes it that much easier for the Aces to kind of go out and take that 2-0 lead. It's going to be a battle, but I agree with Marlon that Age is going to be coming out even more aggressive. I mean, 19, and I think she had 8 rebounds. You can't really scoff at that, but I think she's probably going to go for 20 or more. And I think what the Liberty needs to do, so I think Aces are going to win, but if the Liberty wants to tie this series at a game apiece, Sabrina Ionescu is going to have to get more involved. I think she had less than 10 points, and a lot of that was due to just the Las Vegas's pressure that they were kind of putting on her. You know, she's a sharpshooter, so they definitely kind of took that personal and made sure, like, hey, she's not going to come in this game and hit 4 or 5 threes on us. Regardless of that fact, right, and Ionescu still needs to get involved more, and if she needs to kind of shoot herself into a game, then that's what she needs to do because she is one of the star players on the Liberty. I think there are role players, Benaja, Laney, Courtney Vandersloot, and then you even had Johannes come off the bench shooting 1-footer threes. They did what they were supposed to do. I think we can get a little bit more from Laney, but I think on the defensive side, she was doing a really good job on Chelsea Gray early on. But I think the key for the Liberty is going to be we need Breanna Stewart to keep up the play that she has, and we need Ionescu to kind of get involved more. So game 2 coming up soon. We'll definitely be covering that one. But we're going with the Aces, it looked like.
Yeah, with the Aces. I think you forgot one key, too.
What's that?
See,
now he ain't nervous no more, and now he trying to critique what I'm talking about.
I wasn't nervous to begin with.
Okay. What's the key that I'm missing, Mr. McCoy?
I think in order for them to win, another key is gonna have to be they can't let let Vegas's role players do what they did in game 1. So,
have big games.
Yeah, like I said. If Asia has a big game, that's to be expected. If Kelsey Plum is to have a big game, that's to be expected. Even like Chelsea Gray, but like Jackie Young and Jackie Young, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, as points wise, they can't let them go off like they did game 1.
Okay, agreed. I'll give you that. I don't think I really missed it.
Yeah.
I felt like it was implied, but
yeah, you missed it because you didn't say it.
Okay. This is what happened when you let people on your show. You know, see, the funny thing about how this came about, though, is I actually asked Marlon, I'm like, when we lost Danny, R.I.P., I miss Danny. Shout out Danny.
Shout out Danny.
Yeah. I told Marlon, I'm like, dang, like, I don't know what I want to do now because as long as I've known about podcasts, I'm like, I've never seen a person do a podcast on their own. So that's why we had such a big gap right between our last episode and then the episode that we just kind of shot last week. And so I was like, Marlon was like, well, I'll be your podcast host.
She begged me to be I finally gave in because I'm like, all right, I'll do it. I'll come on the show.
I begged you? So we really gonna get on. We gonna get on here and lie. Like, nah, for real. we gonna get on here and lie. So, anyways, he was like, "I'll do it if you want me to," and I'm like, Yeah, like why not? Like you may not know enough about sports like I do, but you know enough to where I can kind of cut you up a little bit and you can kind of come on here. And then guess what? In true Marlon fashion, we never shoot an episode. I went and got the artwork done and everything, and we never did an episode. And then all of a sudden, I do the last episode. He see it's going crazy. People getting involved. They reposting. He like, I'll come on the next episode. And I'm like, shit, let's go. Is that not how it happened?
No.
Maybe we'll get your story next time.
No. It did happen.
It did happen that way.
Yeah, it sound like.
Nevertheless, though, I'm happy that you joined. I think we kind of do this a lot already, and we kind of debate back and forth. So, what I say last time, shit, just press record. But there you have it, Las Vegas Aces, New York Liberty. Make sure you guys tune into that series. It's gonna be good. It started off good. Get your popcorn ready. One other topic I want to talk about, I think I mentioned it to you the other day, was I don't know if it's in place, but the NCAA is like proposing a rule to ban the photo shoots for unofficial visits. So
yeah.
Do you have any, have you heard about what's going on there, or do you have any thoughts around that?
I haven't looked too much into it. Just so what you said is what I heard. Them banning the photo shoots for unofficial visits to the kids that I guess unofficial, those kids don't have that offer.
Yeah, sometimes. Probably.
I don't think those kids. Yeah, I don't think it's an off. If you're having unofficial, you don't have that offer. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So like you said, they banning the photos, which I think is not. I don't think it's. I think it's a win-win. To be honest, there's no negative out of that, just because if you're on an official, they obviously you would have that offer, but it's more like, okay, they are basically setting this whole entire visit up for you or whoever that they bring on mm-hmm. during that visit, and it's not like, okay, yeah, you're coming to a game, yeah, you get in the game free, but it's 15 other, or I don't know how, 10 to 15 other kids there on unofficial, so it's like kind of like a group thing, and it's not like too much personal to the recruit. Mm-hmm. So I just think that them putting that rule in I don't think there's any bad out of it, because then it kind of just, and then me personally, I would want a university or a coach to be straightforward with me and, know where we stand as far as recruit and coach standpoint or team standpoint all together, just because you going on an unofficial, you don't even know for real if if
they're a real contender of even going there.
Exactly. So I think the rule is solid.
Yeah. I think, personally, I feel like they have more important things to worry about, if we're being honest, considering, just kind of what's going on with NIL, which I'm a big fan of NIL, but I know that, politically, right, you got people wanting to get in their hands in these kids' pockets, and so they're pushing for just, rules and structure. So I think that the NIL and kind of getting rules around that is a little bit more important. But as far as this rule, I do like the rule, though, because what I don't understand is, if a school has not even offered me, and a lot of times you're taking unofficial visits to schools in your local area, it's nothing wrong with that, but to do a whole photo shoot, they're rolling out the red carpet for kids that they have not even offered, although they may be super interested in them, it's just for what? You know what I'm saying? It's a waste of resources. It's a waste of time. And, quite frankly, I think it just kind of pumps these kids' heads up more than anything. And, all the time I see on Instagram, and these kids are so funny nowadays with their little hashtags, but they're hashtag not committed, and then they'll do the slogan of the particular team. And then you do a little bit more digging, and you're like, this kid don't even got an offer from that school. What's the point? So to me, not hating on the kids, I think it's all fun and stuff like that. It's a good rule, and it's not stopping them from actually taking pictures. I think what the rule is just saying is that, and I don't even know if it's even been passed, it's just saying that they don't want the school to use their resources for these professional photo shoots when they have 10, 15 kids coming, just for them to kind of take these pictures. But if the parents wanted to take their own pictures, like on their iPhone or anything like that, that would still be allowed. But I don't know why it kind of came about. I will want to do a little bit more research as to why did they felt that this rule needs to be implemented. But I'm kind of happy about it, just because I think it gives a false sense of hope to some of these kids, and it really just kind of turns into a competition. And it's like, how are you competing with no offers from that school? Which don't really make sense to me. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But in other news, the college basketball is getting ready to start, so I'm excited about that. And I think it's going to be real competitive. We got some kids that we didn't see kind of play the last few years from Texas that'll be playing at the college level, that I'm excited to watch. So you got any teams that you're rooting for?
Yeah, I'm always rolling with North Carolina, Tar Heels. I gotta go with my boy Rylan Griffin, Alabama, and I hope I'm not missing any other players that I have been associated with or coached at the college level.
Trey, Michigan State.
Yeah, but I guess Trey's from Minnesota, so go Michigan State as well. I always want to see.
I know I want to see him play.
Yeah, I want to see him play. I always want to see, or glad to hear kids from Minnesota making it to the power.
And I think what I like about him too is, like, Michigan State is known for having great point guards and stuff like that. So seeing him kind of last year, he didn't play as much, but when you go to a school like Michigan State, it's like a long game type of thing. Yeah. And they didn't bring him there for any reason, so I definitely think he's going to be their point guard for the years to come. We'll see kind of like what happens this year, but I'm definitely excited to kind of see how he has progressed since last year.
So, I would say North Carolina, Alabama, and Michigan State. I think that's it that we know at the college level as far as kids that are playing at the collegiate level.
For sure.
And I'll be going for Southern Utah as well. Wow, my boy. Shout out my boy Solon. Yeah, grad assistant there.
Okay, Solon. Okay, I see you. Okay.
Yeah, but I would say those colleges this year. But I think it's kind of gonna be like last year though too. Like, if we kind of got away from we knowing like, okay, this year so and so is gonna win a national championship. Like, it's not like that anymore at all. Like, you see, last year we had 12 seeds in the Final Four and
competing.
And we had who was it? UConn, and who did UConn even play in the national championship?
Was it San Diego State?
I thought San Diego State lost
in the Final Four.
Yeah, maybe it was them, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
right, and then what was that, like a 5 and a 12 seed or something like that?
No, UConn. I think UConn was. UConn might have been a 5 seed. I'm not sure. I don't want to give any false.
I don't want the show to be known for it.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say I don't know. I know UConn was in the national championship and won it, but I forgot who they played against. But like, everybody was talking about that last year. How it kind of got boring as the tournament went on, because
on the men's side, for sure.
Yeah, on the men's side, because of these, schools that were taking out these Power 5 conferences schools.
The crazy part about that though is that, like, if you watch the games, they were actually really good games though.
Yeah. I'm saying from as players, or in me coaching now, like, it was very good basketball to watch. I mean, and that's not just to discredit those teams that made it that far. But when I say boring, you're not seeing the popular faces.
The blue bloods.
Yeah, the blue bloods further in the tournament. So like, for the most part, everybody knows somebody off of Duke or North Carolina or Kansas, or those type of players. So it's like, okay, now you got these guys where it's like, okay, they're playing basketball the right way, which is not, and that's, I don't want to say that. They're playing basketball the right way, but like I said, it's just you don't know who these people are. So it kind of like, I don't know, takes the...
And to be fair, though...
spice out of it.
Yeah. And to be fair, though, the fan bases are a lot different. Like, when we talk Blue Bloods, their fan bases are huge compared to maybe the fan base of San Diego State or Connecticut. So I think that probably had the most to do with it. It was just like people's teams were just not in the tournament anymore. Right. And you ain't never heard nobody like, no offense to San Diego State, but you ain't never heard anybody say, oh, San Diego State is my team unless they went there. Right. So that just kind of goes along with it. But yeah, man, like college basketball coming up, so I'm super excited about that. So it'll be interesting to see. I want to watch a lot of Indiana basketball on the men's side, and so we'll see kind of like how they're doing there. But yeah, we'll kind of leave it at that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting.
It'll be interesting. Speaking of interesting, do you know what I'm doing with that?
Yes.
What am I talking about?
Talking about Drake.
How am I talking about Drake?
Because he just released his For All the Dogs.
For All the Dogs. For All the Dogs. First of all, when I hear For All the Dogs, I don't think Drake, because he's just not like that, but that's neither here nor there. What do you think about that? Who knows?
I thought it was okay. It had some bangers on them, but it wasn't like super crazy, like no skips.
That is not what you was just saying the other day. Like, I felt like...
Yes, I did say that.
Motherfuckers got on Twitter, and now all of a sudden...
Bro, I don't know why she's acting like I didn't say that already. But like I was saying, like I just don't think it was like super crazy. Like when he released the song with SZA, I thought the album was gonna be crazy because he went crazy on that song he released early. But just the whole album together, I think it was cool. Like out of 10, like I don't know, like a 6. Yeah.
That's 6.
But I mean, it was some bangers on there. I definitely though. It was just I was expecting you call an album For All the Dogs, like, you know what I'm saying, like you thinking like, oh, he about to be going crazy, like he about to be talking crazy, which he was.
He was talking crazy to women though.
Yeah, he was talking crazy to women, but like exactly, like he was talking crazy to women. Like when I'm saying talking crazy, like I mean, yeah, you could throw that a little bit in there to spice it up a little bit, but I'm thinking like lyrically, like he was just about to just go crazy. Like the beats was gonna be crazy. Like I thought it was just gonna be a fire project, but it was cool. It was cool. It wasn't bad. I mean, I don't think anything he puts out is bad.
Yeah, I thought it was a good album. I thought it was better than most people was trying to say it was.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I feel like too though, like when he releases stuff.
So yeah, I definitely thought I thought it was better than people were letting it off to be. I don't appreciate, at least I don't even know what be going on in these people's lives, but I don't appreciate how he was taking shots at Rihanna, or at least I thought he was kind of taking shots at her, because don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Because I just don't know how you could be taking shots at somebody that you was like begging for. But that's just me.
Talking about Rihanna?
First of all, he talking about basically like you was average. I hate how people keep saying that I'm like caught up on you. And if you follow any type of like, if you even live in today's world, people always be trying to say like, oh, Drake still want Rihanna, or he never recovered after that.
You know how many girlfriends he probably had in between Rihanna?
It's one thing to have girlfriends. It's another thing to have Rihanna.
You don't know it for sure if he was talking about Rihanna.
Anyways, like I was saying, he talking about average and all this and that, and then he said gal. He didn't say girl. He said gal. Everybody knows she's the bad gal. Period. That's one. Then he talking about I'm anti. Like anti is one of her best albums. So he was talking about Rihanna. It's cool though. I'm not the only one that thought that. Drake, count your motherfucking days. Don't come for the baddest in the game. Period. Anyways, I have a question for you. Since you seem to like Drake, do you consider yourself, he named the album For All the Dogs, do you consider yourself a dog?
No, I'm a noob. Yeah. Yo.
Come on, like, that hurt.
I don't know why you just asked me that question.
Anyways, we better wrap this thing up because you see it's getting out of hand. And like, I don't know why people think that they could come on my show. Well, it would have been our show. I don't know why people think they could come on my show doing all that he kind of got going on over there. But that's it. I think we had a good weekend. I know I had a good weekend. I was coaching this weekend. I'm officially undefeated.
She went 3-0. Shouts out to. Oh, okay. All right. I thought you was throwing up something else.
This is a professional.
But yeah, shouts out to wifey. She went 3-0. She's 5-0 total, coaching the Richardson boys basketball team. That's where I coach.
I'm really undefeated though. Like if we take into account my whole coaching record, period, I have not lost. It was one game. It ended up we didn't forfeit, but they had to call a game because these boys decided they wanted to get into an all-out brawl. That was not my fault, but I'm undefeated.
Teams doing that and gotta kind of fall back on the coach. So
it wasn't my boy. They was just
a representation of you. So that's
all right.
All I'm gonna say, but yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I always said I didn't want to coach, but I might have to come for your job.
Yeah, maybe.
You just gonna let it go like that?
No, I'm saying you could come for it, but
you said I could come for it,
yeah.
But you don't think you don't sound worried.
Nah, I'm not saying. I'm just saying you could come for it. Like that's cute.
Anyways, I'm undefeated. He's not, and that's how we're gonna end the episode. So thank you for tuning in. It's been a fun one. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I told y'all last episode we're gonna keep this thing consistent, and that's what we're gonna do. We just gonna keep pressing record. Peace.